Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, and if you know me from my essay channel, then welcome to my second channel, where I play The Sims, or where I'm going to start playing The Sims because I wanted to have something that I could upload in between my longer videos, and playing The Sims is pretty much all I do when I'm not watching TV shows and writing about them. So, it just seemed like the natural thing for me to share with you guys. I wanted to get into some total drama Sims this time around. I've been meaning to make Sims of all of the original Total Drama Island cast, and so I started with Beth, Heather, and Lindsay, and I put them all in the same household because it just seemed like a natural fit. So, let's get into it. Alright, so I started out with a randomized sim that actually looked a lot like Heather, so that's who I went with first. And all of the last names come from a fan wiki, so I don't really care if they're not canonical. It doesn't matter. They needed to have last names because they're Sims. And then I ended up giving her the fabulously wealthy aspiration because I didn't want to give her any of the evil aspirations or the evil trait because it just seemed too on the nose. I did give her the mean trait, the materialistic trait, and the ambitious trait, though. So that maybe all amounts to her being a little bit evil, but I just think it's a more nuanced way to do Heather, and it feels in character. I also wanted to give her long, straight hair, even though I know she does go through a shaved head arc on the show. But she does end up growing her hair out, so I feel like if given the choice, as a young adult, Heather would have her long hair again. So that is what I did. And I did change to another pre-made face that looked even more like her, in my opinion. And that was where I started from. You'll see me being really fiddly and meticulous with brows and noses and eye shapes and stuff like that. I don't know, I just I'm really picky about the details. I go in and I manipulate things. The brows were a little bit of a challenge on Heather because the ones that she has in the show are really small, but the really small ones that we have in the game look kind of silly. So that was the best that I could do, but I also felt like the arched ones were also kind of a vibe. Like, she looks cute. Um, Also, if you're looking at your screen at any point and you're screaming at me because I'm not using a specific item that you think would be perfect, or hair or clothes or whatever, it's probably because I don't have it. I only have the packs that I feel like are necessary for the kind of gameplay that I want to play. So if there's an item that you it's your favorite item or whatever, and you don't see me use it, it's because I don't have it. That's just the way that the cookie crumbles. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, and I zoom in and out a lot because I don't know. Sometimes their faces look normal when you're zoomed in, and then you zoom out and they don't look right. And that's what I did there. I zoomed out and zoomed back in again, and I was like, maybe she needs a little bit of adjustment. Her nose needs to be a little bit bigger so she doesn't look as much like an alien. I realize I'm talking kind of fast. Am I talking kind of fast? Maybe I should slow down. Oh yeah, and then I gave her gray eyes because they are gray. I know in the show they do look kind of black, but they're not. They're dark gray. And then the fun part, which is the clothes. Again, if you don't see me use an item that you think would be perfect, it's because I don't have it. I don't have hardly any of the kits or packs, really. I am very picky about what I spend my money on. And I'm no Sims influencer, so yes, I do spend my money on these packs. Um, and you know what? Okay, speaking of packs and such, the shorts. The shorts were such a problem because I did just recently get the Jungle Adventure pack, and I've had the Outdoor Retreat pack for a little while, but not as long as you would think. Um, and neither of them came through for me with Hunter Army Green shorts for Heather. What is the deal with that? What you would think that either between those two packs there would be some khaki, but there just wasn't. So I ended up going with those dark green Jungle Adventure ones that I had put on at first because I don't know, they just were the least ugly. I don't know. and then some wedges after I go back and forth about which wedges exactly to use, but I end up going with the more red ones rather than the ones that are more brown, because that just felt, I don't know, more right. And then after that, I kind of decided that if I didn't have an outfit from the show to reference for Heather, red was going to be my kind of default color for her. Oh yeah, and I didn't use those hideous wedges. There's a lot of swatches for those shoes, but I use very few of them. Very few of them. Yeah, so wanted to do this in between working on my longer videos, because it's gonna be months before I finish Family Guy. I have written 29 pages about the first season of Family Guy, and I wanted the first 3 seasons to all be in the same video. And so it's like, if I'm writing 4 pages an episode, well, I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life, basically. So I either need to start being less verbose about my opinions on these episodes as I go forward, because obviously after the first season, each of the seasons, they're much longer. So I either need to cut down how much I write about each episode, or I just need to be okay with the fact that the video isn't going to be done for quite some time. I guess either is fine, but I didn't want to just not post anything. I feel like that's not a smart move. Oh no, it's my phone vibrating. I'm so sorry. I'm very popular. So, yeah, after I did her formal outfit, I realized that I hadn't put any makeup on her, and that felt silly. I feel like Heather wears makeup, and so I went back in and did that. I put some makeup on her, and then I did makeup for her formal outfit as well. And yeah, I made sure to give her a little dangly earring moment because of her hair tucked behind her ear. It just felt very like, well, Heather would obviously put an earring in. She's meticulously well put together. So yes, obviously that. And then for her workout gear, I saw this tracksuit that she like automatically spawned in, and I thought she is kind of a tracksuit girl, but I feel like, I don't know, that's just kind of like not exactly the vibe. And so I ended up doing like a matching sweatshirt, sweatpant moment. So it's kind of like a jogging suit, but not quite the same thing. A little bit of a more modern kind of jogging suit vibe. So that was fun. And then some matching sneakers too, because you know she's gonna match. Our girl's gonna look so put together, even if she's just jogging down the street, even though honestly I don't picture Heather jogging ever. Oh yeah, and then for her pajamas, this was super easy because this was one of the ones that I had a reference photo for. We do see each of the kids in their pajamas in the show, so it was very easy for me to go in and just recreate that outfit here. Sorry if you hear any like crunching, crackling, rustling. I have 2 bunnies and they're eating their dinner right now. So sorry about that. Or maybe I'm not sorry. Maybe it's cute. Yeah, so then the quest for me to find shorts that aren't ugly for her, but also aren't identical to the shorts that I use for Lindsay later. Really sad. So I ended up going with those pink and white ones because I thought, well, that's good enough. Those are close enough for the ones that she wears in the show, and again, they're not identical to Lindsay's. Oh yeah, and then okay, that tank top came with Jungle Adventure, and you know what? That's one of the ones that I'm not even mad about. It's so cute. I'm so excited about it, and so perfect for Heather. It really, it's fate that I got that pack when I did, and then decided to make this video. Oh yeah, and I just got the vampire pack too, and those boots, oh, so ugly. The tall ones are so ugly with the little heel slit. That's gross. Who's that for? No, thank you. No, thank you. But I did use the earring that came from that pack because I thought that little spiky earring was cute. And then we did a red swimsuit for her because, like I said, I just wanted to do like default red for her because that's just sort of a moment. Did I already say that? I can't remember if I said that. I wanted to do red as her default color, so that's why we did a red swimsuit here. And then, oh yeah, hideous outfit that generated for her hot weather, but don't worry, I fixed her. Obviously, I ended up using my B-list shorts choice here, using the shorts that I almost picked for her everyday outfit and then changed my mind, and yeah, went with the green ones for the other one, but more of a brown khaki kind of moment with these ones, which you might think are more accurate to the ones she wears in the show. I don't care. Take it up. Take it up with the comments section. Anything that you have to say about these Sims not being accurate, put it in the comments. Or you can tell me how much you love them. All of it. Put it in the comments. Tell me how much you hate this show, love this show. Oh, I know it's problematic. It's so nostalgic for me, though. Like, I will be completely honest. So nostalgic. Oh, yeah. Okay, and the next is Beth. So we just get right into it with her. I misspelled her name and had to do it twice. Whoops, my bad. Beth was kind of a mess. There was a bunch of stuff that I had to like go back and do because I forgot like her pronouns and I like her hair texture. All of it was messed up, but she gets there. We get there. Yeah, no, I know the show is problematic. When I rewatched it as an adult, I was like, oh my god, I was really watching this as a kid. That's crazy. But I feel like that happens with like every show that I rewatch. It feels like every show that was on the Disney Channel or Cartoon Network back in the day is like so low-key racist and even high-key racist at times. And so it feels really like crazy to me that my parents like witnessed me watching this and they were like, that's fine. Like, this is a normal show for kids to be watching. Like, the sexual jokes, literally fine. I don't even care. I know that those are in like every kid's show, so it's almost like I expect it, but it's like not every kid's show is as racist as Total Drama was at times. So, you know, there's that to keep in mind. But, you know, we're not doing that today. We're not digesting Total Drama like we do on my other channel with other pieces of media. Like I said, right now I'm working on a Family Guy video, which if you want to talk about cartoons that are racist, oh boy, we would be here all day. But obviously, I mean, it's Family Guy. My whole essay isn't just me talking about how racist Family Guy is. I do have some more astute thoughts than that. But when so much of the show is racist, I mean, it's hard to write anything else, I won't lie. Obviously, I've only watched the first season, and I've started on the second season, but I still feel that way. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind in the future, but I really don't have high hopes. Anyway, Total Drama sim. So, Beth, I'm sculpting her jaw. I had zoomed in and out a couple of times and thought that her head shape was wrong, so I wanted to fix it. Her nose shape as well. I'm pretty sure I decided her eyes needed work after I started picking out glasses as well, because her eyes didn't look right under the glasses. I kind of wanted to mimic, you know, the thing in cartoons where a glasses wearer takes their glasses off and their eyes are like really tiny and far apart. I wanted to kind of mimic that, because I feel like that's what she looks like, right? That's exactly what she looks like. I also gave her a frown because she frowns a lot on the show, and she was frowning in the reference photo that I used for her as well. But yeah, a little bit of sculpting on her nose and stuff just to make her look more Beth-like and less just like a generic sim. I ended up going with these thick black glasses because I think they're the most accurate to the ones that she has on the show. And yeah, here I am going back and like changing her eye shape a little bit because I wanted to make them smaller and a little bit more beady. Just a little bit more small, you know, I don't know, a little tinier. And then I ended up making them a darker color as well because her eyes are very dark in the show. And yeah, put those black glasses back on and I thought, there she is, there's my girl. Then the hair was another moment where I kind of messed up and I had to go back and fix it later. It's because, okay, you'll see I have this straight hair filter on, because I put the filter on when I was making Heather, and then I forgot to turn it off. And so then when I was looking for ponytails, I couldn't find, like, the right ponytail. I don't know, none of them were speaking to me, and it's because I had the filter on, and so it wasn't showing me all of them. So that's annoying, but I did end up turning the filter off again later, and then I came back and fixed it, because you'll see that this high pony that I picked, like, that's not Beth. Who is that? I don't know, but I needed something. I couldn't have nothing. I feel like the hair is a really important part when I'm making these like character sims, I guess I'll call them, because I do this a lot. I make sims based off of characters on TV shows. This isn't the first time I've done this. Sometimes I do video game characters as well, but not as often. I started a Stardew Valley save and never finished it. I think the only ones that I made were Alex and his grandparents, and then I did not finish the rest of the town. But maybe I will someday. Maybe that's one that I'll share with you guys when I actually go back and finish that and I make all of the other residents. I also made the characters from Girlfriends, specifically season 1 of Girlfriends, which is fun. That's an old TBS sitcom, which I love. So that's fun. I have considered making Seinfeld Sims, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Malcolm in the Middle is higher up on my list. I won't lie. I have been tempted to make the Family Guy cast, but the thing is I don't have cats and dogs. That's one of the packs that I just haven't wanted to procure, and so I don't have it. So I wouldn't be able to make Brian. So doesn't quite feel right. Oh yeah, and then I gave Beth this like that pink number you'll see for or formal, because I wanted to give her like kind of like a jacket kind of deal. Dress her a little bit younger because she's nerdy. I don't know, it just seemed right. Sorry, I'm gonna sip a little bit. Sorry, just drinking some water. And yeah, I had to make sure that her glasses were on in every outfit, and I specifically made sure to put her glasses on for her swimwear because, so both my husband and I are glasses wearers, but I don't wear my glasses when I'm like in the water or anything like that. Like if I'm at the beach or the pool, I don't wear my glasses. He wears his pretty much all of the time. I don't think he would take them off in the water if he had the option to. Like if he was able to keep them on all of the time, he would. And I thought Beth is, you know, that kind of person. Oh yeah, and then this nightie, the green nightie is like perfect. You see I've spent barely any time on it because she wears a short cap sleeve green nightie in the show, and it's like identical to that one. It's perfect. I used a lot of cottage living for her because there's a lot of like Peter Pan collars and buttons, vests. It's like preppy but soft, that kind of thing. So lots of Beth vibes in that pack, I guess. And yeah, for this party outfit, I almost gave her sneakers, but then I thought like, it's her party outfit. I might as well go like full head to toe cottage living and do some of these little lace ups instead. She spawned into this swimsuit that I thought was like perfect, but I wanted to do a different swatch. I thought this polka dot green one was cute. I tried some other ones, but I ended up going back to that one because like it's kind of ugly cute, like the rest of her clothes, you know? She's all about those like kind of messed up color combinations. I love Beth. She's so cute. Her style on the show is so cute. And yeah, for her hot weather, I went with this skirt moment because I thought that Beth's the kind of girl who can pull off a skirt, you know? And then when I put that that tied over shirt on, I thought, oh, there it is. There are my layers. My girl loves layers. And then, yeah, sneaker moment for sure. And I liked this sweater, but I wanted it in a different color, and you'll see I'm such a fool. I scrolled past it and went with that one instead, and then I was like, wait, that's not even the one that I wanted, and so, yeah, there it is. And I went with this swatch instead so that I could have the blue patches on the elbow specifically. And then I put her back in her pink jeans, but then instead of her sneakers, we went with a snow boot so that she could keep warm because we don't want our girly to get cold. I put them in Newcrest. I also put them all in the gallery, by the way, which is cool, so you can download them. I'm Lola WRDN449 on the gallery, so you can download them if you so choose. And then, you know what, if you have beef with the way that I made them look, you can just change them. So there you go, girl. Oh yeah, and then last but not least, I did Lindsay, and after I gave Lindsay her pronouns, I realized I didn't give Beth hers, and so I had to go back and give Beth her pronouns. And I went with the friend of the world aspiration for Lindsay because that just seemed right. Oh yeah, and I didn't mention it, but I gave Beth the soulmate aspiration because that felt right as well for her character. I really wasn't sure what to do for Lindsay's traits. I kind of went back and forth on which ones to do. I thought cheerful seemed like it made sense though, and I also went with the good trait, I believe, and romantic because, yeah, that felt like a good Lindsay combination. She's a cutie. We love Lindsay as well. Her whole character arc is so fun to watch. Watching both her and Beth actually stand up to Heather at different points. So satisfying. Oh, yeah, and then here's where I realized I was like, wait, the hair thing is on. I can just go back and fix Beth now and find a ponytail that isn't the worst. And yeah, this low one with the braid was so much more Beth. And like the side part, definitely. And I like had to make sure it still looked right with all the outfits, but it looked good. So then after I fixed Beth for the last time, I actually like properly started on Lindsay, and I fidgeted back and forth so much with this girl's skin tone, and it was such a waste of time because I ended up literally using a default skin tone anyway, which is stupid, but whatever. She looks fine at the end. I think she looks okay. Yeah, this hair with the blue bandana, literally perfect. It's so perfect. This is the hair that gave me the idea to do this in the first place. I'm not gonna lie. When I first got Cottage Living and I saw that this blonde swatch came with a blue bandana specifically, I was like, oh my god, I have to make Lindsay. But if I make Lindsay, I have to make everybody else because, like, well, I don't know how to stop. And also, I don't know, what else am I doing with my time? So, I mean, it's listening, it's watching Family Guy, so I might as well make total drama characters in The Sims, right? It's probably better for me than watching Family Guy anyway. So, yeah, I ended up clicking that default face there and changing it for Lindsay because I felt like that was going to be a better use of my time. It was going to be easier for me to make Lindsay happen that way rather than the randomly generated face that I had been given. And I was right. I really only made some minor tweaks to her because I feel like that default face is so cartoonish. And yeah, I ended up changing the body, obviously, because one of Lindsay's defining character features is that she's shaped really fucked up. Her rack is massive and she's super skinny. It's terrible. It's the way that she's drawn is just god awful. But I did make the sim accurate to her body type as best as I could without making her look like a circus freak. So there's that. I was struggling a little bit to figure out the best tank top to go with because there's a few brown tank tops, but none that are exactly like the one that Lindsay wears, obviously. And so I ended up going with that one. I think it's from Seasons. Oh, yeah, and a base game skirt, but I couldn't decide which one. I went with that tighter one, but I don't know. I feel like either one probably would have been fine. And then you'll see me not being able to decide which cowboy boots to put on her as well. And I really, really wasn't committed to that tank top either. You'll see, yeah, I wanted to try that tank top, and then I was like, that's worse. Which is so funny. Poor Lindsay. You'd think that she would be easy to dress. Like I said, the bandana was what made me think in the first place, like, oh, I should make Lindsay in The Sims. But then it was like, well, from the neck down, it's a lot harder than you think, sis. The cowboy boots kind of tie it all together, though. It's like, you put those on, it's like, oh, there she is. There's Lindsay. There's my girl. So, yeah, I did that. And then for the rest of her outfits, the running color that I used for her was orange. So for like Beth, my default color that I used for her was like pink and green, red for Heather, and then orange for Lindsay. Oh yeah, and I changed her face a little bit more because the more I looked at her, I was like, she kind of does just still look like that default faceplate, and I don't like that. And so I went back and tweaked her just a little bit more. I'm meticulous. I'm pretty sure I also changed her eye color at some point too, because I don't like that darker blue, and I changed it to the lighter one. And I did put some makeup on her, but the makeup that I did for her and for Heather both is really light. It's really subtle. It's really natural, because I feel like on the show, that's like the way that they're drawn, is to be sort of like subtly wearing makeup, rather than like Beth is kind of not supposed to be wearing any at all. And like Bridget, her eyes are drawn the same way, which is why it's so hard to believe. I'm pretty sure she doesn't wear makeup. That's like a thing that she thinks she's like better than the other girls for. Which is ridiculous. Oh yes, and then for the formal outfit, I like almost put her in that other orange dress, but then I was like, wait, that's the same one that I put Heather in, but a different color, and Heather would fillet Lindsay alive for wearing the same dress, but in a different color, and so I went with this orange and white one instead. And then, yeah, I wanted to change her face even more, because again, the more I looked at her, I was like, there's just something not quite right about her. Fixed her mouth a little bit, yeah, changed her eye color because I wanted them to be lighter. And then for the shoes on this outfit, I was like, would Lindsay wear like heels for a formal occasion? Like maybe, but I also feel like she's just sort of like a goofy girl, right? Like she's just sort of doing her own thing, and so I feel like even though it's not the most fashionable thing in the world, she would still wear boots. And so I ended up putting her in these, not cowboy boots, but they're these like slouchy ankle boots. And yeah, not the vampire boots. I don't know when I'm gonna use those, honestly. It's such a shame. Yeah, but these like slouchy ankle boots are kind of the moment. And then her workout clothes, I like wanted to do like a sports bra leggings kind of thing, but there wasn't a good sports bra swatch, I guess. I don't have the fitness pack, so my bad. And then for her pajamas, this was another one. We got reference photos for this one. We've seen all their pajamas, so I just did a quick little pink tank top, pink shorts kind of thing, and then went back and was like, that tank top isn't the same color as the shorts. And then I tried all of the pink swatches until I finally settled on one, which obviously the one that I settled on is the last one that I tried, because, well, that's just how it works, isn't it? See, and I almost went back to my old reliable. That university tank top is my favorite tank top. I use it so much in every color, but it just wasn't the right time for her. So yeah, then we move on to her party fit, and this was another instance where I was kind of like, what would Lindsay wear to a party? Like, I feel like what Lindsay is wearing is what I would wear to a party if I went to parties. But she wears that every day. And so I was like, well, how do you dress up a girl who's already dressed up? So I kind of recreated her everyday outfit, but with some slightly different items. I'm pretty sure I used the same skirt, but we went with some different shoes and a different tank top, just to mix it up a little bit. Sorry, I was just pausing a little bit there. My husband sent me a text, and I didn't open it. I was just looking at the preview. I promise I'm paying attention here. Can you tell I didn't record this voiceover in real time? Can you believe? Oh yes, and then the one outfit that I didn't put boots on her for, well, not the one outfit, but one of a couple outfits that we didn't do boots. I went with wedges instead, and I ended up putting the wedges on her that I didn't go with for Heather. There's a lot of similarities between these two outfits, actually, which wasn't necessarily intentional, but I do feel like, there's a reason that they were friends, and by friends I mean why Heather thought, like, oh, I can take advantage of this girl. Oh yeah, and then the hot weather shirt that she spawned with, I thought was cute. But I wanted to change the swatch, obviously, and then I wanted to put this skirt on her because I thought this was a cute moment. And I said that Beth was the kind of girl who could pull off a skirt, but I feel like Lindsay could do it too. There's a reason those two are friends as well, and there's a reason that those two are like actually friends. Nobody's trying to manipulate each other with that one. And then for her cold weather, I couldn't decide which sweater to put on her. I'm pretty sure I ended up going with the tiny living one in the brown swatch, which I use the sweater kind of a lot, but not really ever that color. Like, I use the yellow color more often than not, but I went with brown this time because that just seemed correct. Gosh, sorry. Cameron Fry. He's running around. That's, yeah, my bunny. Now he's running. He's done munching. And yeah, that was it. Put some boots on her, made sure I had the same cowboy boots as her every day, and then that was it. Lindsay was ready to go. And then I named their household the Bad Girls Club because they are my baddies, my bad girls. And I will probably build a house for them eventually. I'm planning on making the other cast members of the show as well, so you can look forward to that. And until then, I will see you guys later. Bye.